I conform to all Google commands. Okay, Scott,
Okay.
show that page off. I think we're broadcasting.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Oops,
Okay.
let me just lock it on you here.
Okay.
There we go. That makes it easier.
Okay. So this is a page. It's from a Spider Gwen script. That was a sample that was sent. I don't know if this was ever in the book. I haven't seen it. I don't really read. I've read a couple of the trades, but I've never come across this particular story. But it was sent to. Hang on just a second. Sorry, I turned down. I'm watching on my tablet so I can see if anybody comments or whatever. Uh,
Good idea.
Anyway, this was sent to the con. Is that better or worse?
It's about the same. I think I like it better when you don't have that extra light on.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I drew this, but the story is it's Spider Gwen and she's fighting the Vulture, and apparently they've got a thing, and so she's graffitied over the. It starts off and she's graffitied on this water tower. It says the Vulture's lame, and then there's all this graffiti, and then she's putting graffiti down, and then the Vulture comes along, and so I was very happy with the way this page turned out. It's a little dirty. I think I got lead on my
Well, yeah, I
triangle.
mean, you got so much pencil down there, it's going to be hard to.
Nah, it's a sample. I don't, I'm not gonna ink it. So
It's great though. All the little things you decide to add to it that are different. The density there, I'm looking at the density on that doggone down view fire escape. That's pretty
this one,
amazing. Yeah, because I'm looking beyond the first light layer. I kind of, it's kind of late now, but man, I would
oh,
I would think you would
Doug.
kind of want to vignette that a little bit, leave some of it out.
Well, I could have stopped it right there, but I wanted to sell the idea that she wasn't on ground level, that she was up
Yeah.
kind of, because on the next page, which is what I'm working on now, the Vulture comes along, and in this last panel, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see it. He like rams into that fire escape, and so I want there to be this feeling of she's up high.
Drag it down a little toward. Yeah. No, the other way.
Hang on, let's do it this way. I don't know if you see
Can't see the
down.
can't see the top the way you got it.
Hang on just a second. Let me turn off some of these lights. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. You're.
Okay, see, you can see that the Vulture's going to crash into
Mm-hmm.
this fire escape that she's on, and so this is what I've been working on. This is what I started last night.
Nice. Nice. I thank you for leaving out those legs. That's
No,
good.
yeah, that was your call, and it was
Yeah.
a good one.
No. And it's so much better. It's like decide what's important and just blow that up and make that what it's all about.
Yeah, you can see them, on my tracing, but then on
Yeah.
the pencil, you can see there.
Yeah. No, that's the way it should be too.
And I was kind of unhappy with this panel when I first started because it just felt constricted or whatever, and I just kind of got into it and just kind of cut loose, and I was happy with it. I just kind of noodled with it a little bit, and I feel like it got better as I went along. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy. This is kind of what I want, and it was fairly quick, and it was I'm always searching for that balance between tight and stiff art and
Yeah.
loose, so loose it's sloppy. I want my
Yeah.
art fairly tight, but I don't want it to be. I'm gonna clip this back up here. I don't want it to be, stiff. Sorry, I'm
Yeah. No.
rest.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Well, like I say, I'm pleased that that page came out as well as it did, and I think it is a good sample from what I've seen of it. Uh,
yeah.
you know,
I have this theory. I'm gonna send this off and never hear a peep out of it. But if I do, I do. At the very least, I've decided. At the very least, no matter what happens, unless somebody likes it, it's going to be something that I take to New York in October and drop in, sample boxes. At the very
Cool.
least.
I tell you what, nothing happens unless you do stuff exactly like that.
Yeah,
You gotta get yourself out there.
I agree. Anyway, I read one of your scripts that you sent me. I read Coin Toss.
Oh, you did? You've already opened that up and read something?
Well, I guess on my phone I could preview. It allowed me to preview Coin. Was there? There was more on there, right?
Yeah, there should be 3 scripts.
Okay.
Coin toss. Okay.
It came up and it said, "Do you want a preview?" And I said yes, and it was Coin Toss. But I was thinking that that wasn't the entire thing on there. I'll have to download it to the desktop to read all
Well,
of it.
coin toss, you have probably already read that one, and that's probably what it showed to you. I think you've already read the one where they turn into giants and fight each other.
Yeah, that was not.
Yeah, that's that one, and then the other 2 are you rang. I think you'll think
Oh,
might be kind of interesting how you rang came out because I just went just totally in a weird direction where it's very Steve Ditko like. The guy answering the phone, they draw him down to what he didn't even know existed at a low level on the underground.
oh,
And then it turns out that they're these weird kind of phantoms, and they chase him.
that is very Ditko like.
Yeah, and then I've got about as much originality as anybody that copies Kirby and thinks he's doing good. Uh,
You can do work.
Exactly the story idea. I knew, they always say you have to have an ending. So my ending is I'm scanning right now. I'm doing a bunch of stuff
Okay.
I did today. Um, so my ending, the way I came up with my ending is say, okay, I'm just going to copy that John Carradine story. Do you remember this from Night Gallery?
No.
He tells all these kids, dig under that big oak tree and you'll find a big surprise.
No. Yeah.
So these kids all trudge off. There's 3 of them. They think he's talking buried treasure.
Right.
And they dig, and finally they all get disgusted with it. They go down to 2 guys, and then they go finally, and one guy is just ready to punch the other guy for thinking they ought to be doing this, and he leaves. Just as soon as he leaves, practically, he hits something, and he starts uncovering it, and all of a sudden it opens in front of him, and it's wicked, evil-looking John Carradine right there, and he goes, surprise.
Oh.
I've always loved that story because it's just so simple. But then that's not what I did.
Oh, gotcha. Just stole that. Okay.
So I was going toward that, and then I couldn't figure out how to make it work exactly like that. Then I thought, oh, even better to copy is the idea of Honey West. What's her name? Ann something or other. Her Twilight Zone segment where she's a mannequin and doesn't know it. She's been allowed to leave the store.
Yeah.
And then all the mannequins come after her. And when they finally corner her, she realizes, oh, okay, I'm a mannequin. And that's what happens to this guy. He realizes he's a phantom.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the monsters.
That's a good. I like that. That works.
Yeah.
And that's the actual coin toss, or not coin toss, but you rang.
You rang. Yeah, that's the you rang story.
That's a good one. That I like that. That's pretty cool. So when are we filming it? Oh.
Well, it might be. I just watched some of the potential of these real limited animation things that are done. What do you call it? Motion graphics or something?
Well, yeah, or like Flash. Some of them's Flash stuff. Even
Yeah,
though
yeah.
Flash is even a format anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, it is basically. If you know Flash, you do know Animator.
Kinda, yeah. Well, it's that ability. Can you manipulate a timeline? You know.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm scanning something.
So you're going to animate it.
Well, no. I'm going to just do a comic book of it.
Oh,
Well, we'll see if I try to, to get the old route of Indiegogo.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. That's apparently it works. What's a duck do? 500,000?
Yeah, but
I know. I
uh,
mean, you're not Doug. Don't get me wrong.
no. But nobody does those kind of numbers without built-in audience. Doug has been working on his audience for years and years, and so he will get what he deserves on that sort of effort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you're drawing with that's pretty cool. That perspective on your pencil. Look at that again.
Oh, is
I'll
it?
walk it down. Yeah. The pencil's coming almost up to the lens. It's kind of neat.
It's like a pencil cam. That's
Yeah.
should invent pencil cam.
Yeah. I give you a little seasickness actually going right along on the stroke.
We'll put a stabilizer in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to maintain that, loose but not tight, not loose but not sloppy. That's what I want. That's the the target I'm shooting for.
It's your ideal.
Man, it starts next Wednesday.
What?
San Diego, dude.
Oh, it really? Man,
It, it's early this year.
it's interesting. They're still coming in right in the middle of July. Man, it's going to be hot.
Oh yeah. I have a badge, man.
So ordinarily we'll go. Man, that'd be a fun trip.
Oh, I know. Next year I'll go maybe.
All these New York trips and no
Yeah.
San Diego.
Well, I can't. Michelle doesn't want to go to San Diego, so I can't justify it until I can justify it. Like I got a book out there.
Mm-hmm.
But after me deciding I wasn't going to go, my writer's going to be out there, so I probably could have justified at least in my head going. But I don't want to. I don't want to. If New York is easy because it's a vacation. I mean, no matter what.
Yeah, you love New York.
Yeah, we got friends out there and stuff. And though I got to tell you, man, today when it was like 100 million degrees outside, the idea of going to San Diego sounded pretty good.
Yeah, that Pacific breeze, man.
Oh yeah, it was hot today.
I got out in it for a little bit.
Do what?
I got out in it for just a little bit to get to the park and take my walk.
Um, Sorry, I'm trying to sharpen this pencil, and I'm having trouble. I need to mount my sharpener is mounted to the bottom of my desk. Oops. Anyway, okay, that's better.
That's your wafer thin light table.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the style that I use in my head, I call it my blunt pencil style, and I think it's just because it's not like a thin line and it's kind of loose and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, this pencil I'm using with 4B lead in it. God,
Oh
I really love that.
yeah, I alternate. I use all kinds of stuff. Right now I'm using a wooden pencil.
Yeah, using a nice, what do you call it? I forget what. I know that blue pencil. It's called
Oh, that's Stadler Mars.
Yeah, Mars pencil.
Yeah, I like the Staedtler Mars and the drawing pencils. They seem to be like the best, or at least for me. But I went through a period where I'd buy everything, and I kind of decided this is the one, and I'll draw this for a while. This is a B. I'll draw with it, and then I'll decide, well, that's too dark, so I'll switch to an H or an HB.
I just accidentally done Yul Brynner as the deaf man in Fuzz.
Oh,
That's an underrated movie. Yul Brynner and Burt Reynolds, Raquel Welch, Tom Skerritt. I know all these names off the top of my head.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey, you know what movie available if you want to check it out sometime on Prime? I
What's
watched last night. Here it was 2 hours, 19 minutes. So I was going to do my typical thing of saying, yeah, I'll get about 45 minutes into it and maybe watch the rest of it tomorrow or whenever. Because
yeah,
I got to
well,
do that. Usually things don't
yeah,
excite me so much that I can't do that to a movie. And I and this movie wasn't necessarily exciting me, but I did get hooked on it. It's called Under the Silver Lake. It's called Under Silver Lake, which is an area of LA, very very nice and posh, but still, you know,
I think I've seen ads for that. It's like is it a
it,
thriller?
uh, it's more of an oddball kind of mystery thing. There's very little thriller to it.
Gotcha.
Trying to think, it's more David Lynch, Mulholland Drive than it is just about anything else.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Mulholland Drive?
I think I saw it once years ago. I honestly don't remember it though.
It's about people being again all these stories. Well, you know what? It's also got a little recent movie we saw on Classic Cinema Podcast that we like so much, Sunset Strip, Sunset Boulevard,
Boulevard.
because it is a Hollywood story. It's about people in town. It's about a guy that's down on his luck, and I guess he's a writer, and he's he's having to cope with the idea that he's about to be kicked out for lacking money to pay rent. But he seems to have he's always pulling money out of his pocket to buy drinks and stuff. So he's got a certain kind of income from his mom or wherever it's coming from. He has a couple of phone conversations with her. And anyway, it's a real goofy, fun, uh, you know, kind of story that it's got a lot of sex. So, fair warning, anybody that doesn't like or is really offended by kind of semi-graphic
Oh, gotcha.
sex scenes. They have a few of them in it, and but it's done as a kind of a style thing.
The library has an audiobook by David Lynch that was kind of interesting. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like on creativity. It was pretty interesting.
By who?
David Lynch.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, if he could put in his head what he's got in his head in your head, that would be a good book.
Yeah.
He's a painter, I mean,
Oh yeah.
comes from that background of understanding.
Yeah, I think he went to art school somewhere. It seems like he talked about that, didn't he?
He understands
Film school.
light and the impact of, you know, that's the main special effect is lighting. Really, don't get much more dramatic than a good lighting moment.
Well, lighting controls so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've been watching on Prime. I've been watching The Prisoner.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that series?
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out when it was replacing Jackie Gleason.
Really?
Summer replacement. Yep.
That's a heck of a replacement.
Yeah.
They probably got some angry letters. Ooh.
Well, no, it was replacing it. They used to back in the day. They wouldn't instantly feed you reruns. They'd say, "You need some new programming. Here's the summer replacement programming." The
Okay,
Prisoner.
not that it replaced it on the schedule necessarily, it was just the summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, the jump from Jackie Gleason to The Prisoner is so
Yeah,
dramatic.
It was quite a treat, and it's so, and it's kind of low budget when you think about it.
Oh yeah,
The biggest effect in it is a weather balloon
yeah.
that, I mean, with a sound effect. That is one of the most basic things that you can have that's real cheesy and cheap, but it's so effective. Like if you have a guy that you established, via uh, exposition, that you have a brain parasite out there that's after people from outer space.
Yeah.
All you have to have is some wild theremin sounding sound effect, and then have an actor willing to grab his head and act like his brain is being consumed. And there's
we ever do
it can make you jump out of your seat when it gets you.
That's our next movie.
There you go. I mean, yeah, do something that's totally sound effects.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Anyway, but I've been watching. I'd never watched it. I'd seen like the first episode a couple times. Never seen it to completion. And saw little bits of it, but I always heard about it growing up. The Prisoner.
Have you binge watched all of it?
No. I've watched it this week, and I watched one a night. I think tonight I'm on number 4 or 5. I bought a book about it.
This is just my impression about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were any more able to tell where they were going with it than the people that wrote Lost were.
Yeah.
I really do think they kind of started making it up as they went along, and that's interesting. About these shows, you can start on them and give yourself a schedule, but they don't have all those scripts written before they start, and it's just it kind of finds its way. It's kind of cool.
Especially, The Prisoner actually went. Oh, what's his name? The lead guy, Patrick McGoohan. Is it Patrick? It's Patrick, right?
Patrick.
He wanted it to be 7 episodes, and they're like, no, it needs to be,
It's room to breathe.
Well, they wanted 27, I think.
Yeah, they wanted something for syndication's sake. Yeah.
Right. Well, and the compromise was 17. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of odd because I've kind of grown up hearing about it, and you go to cons and people talk about it. It was a big staple.
They tried to revive it, didn't they?
Yeah, I've been listening to a podcast about it, which is 17 episodes, and I'll watch it and then I'll listen to the episode after I watch it about that particular episode. And they have nothing kind to say about the remake.
Well, that's cool. So you've got a podcast that will have commentary as you go on each segment.
Well, I watch it afterward or listen to it afterwards, but yeah.
That is cool.
Because there's a lot to miss that they catch. One of the guys has been a Prisoner fan forever. What do you think about that panel?
Let's see. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, locking on you here. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, it's just all about very detailed, and how detailed did it really need to be? Like you say, you like it tight. But the notion of what to leave out is always crucial to me.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet, Ellis.
So it's deal on hair, and I do it too. I was just saying to myself as I was looking at some of the stuff I scanned just now, I have got to learn to draw hair as masses instead of drawing the hairs.
Well,
The moment you draw a hair and it's an individual hair, you have made a mistake. That is never the way to think about hair as a guy doing a drawing. You have to turn it into the masses and the big shapes
here's
because you're never going to want it reduced,
this is
saying that my level of detail is a single hair.
yeah, no, you're right, and I agree with that. But I was going for a real specific look with his collar.
Yeah.
I wanted his collar to look.
Again, and this is where I was telling you about drag it out. Just drag out that Ditko. Ditko is the guy who came up with the Vulture. The Vulture is completely. Oh, you got it. You got some essential Ditko. There you go. Well, heck,
See,
got
this
it.
is what I'm looking at. Well, and see, originally in mine, I drew it as like a almost like a star with like a lot of points, like a
Uh-huh.
felt thing that had notches. Well, then I got to looking at this, and I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. To me, it looks more like it's a fur thing.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went with a modern fur look,
Yeah. Yeah. But see,
And
what
I
he's done
didn't
there is
do it,
just hatched. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I didn't do the lines on him because I felt that would get real busy,
Hmm.
you know. And I did the wings a little bit different, but I did do them long, like you said. I was, I think in my head I was confusing his wings with the Falcon's wings. Not the movie Falcon, but the comic Falcon. And the comic Falcon has pretty short wings. It's almost like Spider-Man's under armpit webs.
Oops.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the notes I would hand to you on that are all about big shapes. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Until you start um, seeing that, until you can look at a curve, a Ditko, and see what he was doing, and divine it, and draw it out, copy it, whatever. I mean, that's when you get some good out of it. And that's all I can say about that. Is like you have to see it first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to give you a harsh. Like I said, I was worried I had harshed you a little too much on some of those other notes I gave you.
Oh, don't worry about that, dude. I work at a job where people tell me all the time. I mean, if they don't like it,
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried. I mean, I can take it.
But that Ditko, he's the man for understanding what to leave out. He's good at that. We saw that movie together recently, Spider-Man.
Oh,
I thought of Ditko a couple of times during that. It's too bad he passed away. Who went first? Did Lee go first or Ditko?
Oh, Ditko.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So funny thinking about how differently people are built, their personalities and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Ditko that would, he'd chew his leg off to get away from a crowd.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lee, who
couldn't wait to find a crowd.
Oh yeah, he's after that crowd.
Well, yeah, and I don't. Which of the two is insecure?
Yeah. And then, there's an interesting question: who is more secure in themselves? Who are you saying? Do you think of it as being automatic? I'm not sure the guy that doesn't want a little solitude isn't kind of semi-secure in himself, saying I don't need to hear the crowd roar.
I see. That's the thing. I think they were both pretty secure.
I do too. I do too.
It's just in different ways. I don't
Yeah.
think. I think Stan Lee was a guy that he was, for all his hucksterism and all that jazz. He was not a guy that spent. I don't believe he was a guy that spent a lot of time in self contemplation about the universe. He didn't sit around and go, "Do people like me?" He just said, "Darn it, people are gonna like me."
Mhm.
I mean, that's my opinion. And I think Ditko was just a guy that's like, "Hey, I just want to make comics. I just want to do my art. I don't.
Well,
I
to
don't.
use his talent.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he cared about publicity or anything. I mean, obviously not.
At the same time, when he was with someone that obviously wanted to talk art and wanted to talk about what he was after with this or that, he would open up pretty well.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny for all his whatever you call it, his humility or self depreciation or whatever. He was very quick to talk about wanting credit for what he felt he had done.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the deal. All that talk about him getting shafted, I think the off the table thing was he was not to talk about the fact that he was getting big fat checks delivered to him as settlement stuff. So he had a toward the end of his life, he was in on the big money making
Oh, you think
that was going on.
are you speculating?
Well, I think someone said they saw one of his checks just laying around on the table, and it was a big check. So it's like he had the money.
Yeah.
And they were keeping him out. They were keeping him away from the the trial lawyers that are there for
Yeah, they
contingencies, or what do you call it when you consignment or whatever. The guys that come along will work for free because they know there's $1 million payday.
contingency. I think is what that is.
Contingency, yeah. What did I say? Consignment.
Yeah, same thing. I knew.
Yeah. Look forward to all my scripts. Well, that reminds me. I want to.
Hey, so have you heard anything? I guess you haven't heard anything about the deal you sent off.
I did hear that they. I'd have to go to Firefox where I've got the bookmark nice and prominent. But
yeah.
they do have it in the hands of the evaluator, so that's cool. So I will be getting something back, and if the evaluator likes it, it might turn into something that they're able to at that point. Once it's evaluated,
Yeah.
they can kind of pump it up.
Oh, they can.
Yeah, I mean, if they like it, they'll give it a certain review. They'll give it however much in the way of stars or whatever. How many thumbs up they think it rates, and that'll be cool. Hopefully,
That's
of course. And you know what? It'll still be cool because I'm a mortal, and if they come back and they say, "Wow, this reads like a first time script," if they're totally unimpressed with what I've done, that just tells me that that's my level. It's what I needed to know.
Currently.
That's my current level.
Yeah. Well. Oh, hey, that reminds me. I was going to ask you. Did you got my email about the Simon Kirby book?
Yeah, I saw that. How much is that book, even with the discount?
I think. Well, before the coupon, I think it was either 30 or 40. I think it was 40.
With the coupon, it's 40.
No, with the coupon's 30% off.
Okay.
That's what they had, and it was okay. You know where the graphic novels are at?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well it's across the aisle, so it's where the cabinet's at for the graphic novels for the expensive ones.
Oh yeah, the ones that won't let you get to.
It's
Yeah.
It's on the shelf under that. I think it's on that side.
Okay.
because it's over. I mean, you can't miss it. It's really thick.
I'll look it over.
Okay.
You know, a true coffee table book like that would be something I'd be real unlikely to really want to lug into the house. Even though I've got three pretty big Kirby books, but mainly I've got all of the Kirby reference I really ever would want to have as an artist, just picking up art lessons.
Oh, you know what I ordered online?
What?
I was listening to cartoonist K-Fob. Have you checked that out? I know I've talked to you about that.
I'm not sure. What is it about?
Well, it's they do comics, but I mean, it's a guy named Ed Piskor
Oh, I've heard that name. Yeah.
and they do they're going through originally started going through Wizard magazine, starting at issue 1, right?
Oh yeah. You have talked about this.
And so, but anyway, they were talking about one of them was talking about they went somewhere and they stayed at somebody's house, and the guy at this convention, and the guy the had a hardcover reprint of it's the Captain Marvel story where he fights the Monster Society of Evil or whatever it's called, and it was the first story arc ever in comics. And I'd heard of that trade a long time ago, but I was never a big Captain Marvel fan. And they're talking about, like Fantagraphics or somebody did this trade like years ago. And, being a comic of the 30s, it had some racist, imagery and stuff. And he fought Japanese, and of course they were, it was right before World War II, so they were depicted, terribly. But this series is 25 issues, or it's a story that came across 25 issues. And so I looked, and you can buy it. It's public domain, and there's a place that sells a black and white copy of it, which is shot from the original comic, so it wouldn't be line art. It'd be just a gray comic. But it was like $13, so I ordered that. That's supposed to be coming tomorrow. Kind of looking forward to reading that. I read some sample pages online, and it just seemed pretty cool.
Oh, that does sound cool. Is
I'll probably
the
bring
Piskor people are who made you aware of it, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the
And
Piskor
I'll
podcast.
comic book K-Fob.
Comic book K-pop.
Now
that's a reference to Korean pop culture or not?
No. K-Fob is a wrestling term, pro wrestling term.
Oh, okay.
It's like the wrestling equivalent of Hey Rube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. This did I say under Silver Lake has some really cool stuff. This kid is obsessed with codes, and he picks up a zine that's about a local news story that's happening in the area about somebody killing dogs. And this guy's put out a zine about it where he's doing his own explanations for it. And he also has some code stuff that dates back to the hobos, how the hobos would chalk up on the curb of somebody, whether or not somebody they had for, like, if you want to beat them, go here. And it was basically warning signs or where there's a soft touch, for somebody to go get a free meal, and they had it as a code.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've read about that.
Yeah. It's something that Charles Willeford supposedly was kind of privy to, that wrote about it a little bit. Yeah, and of course the Emperor of the North has a little bit of that in it. They go into some of their, what would you call that? Their lexicography or whatever.
There's a word for that, like the hobo symbols or something.
Yeah. Hobo runes, basically. Yeah.
Hobo runes. Have you ever seen the hobo nickels?
No, what's a hobo nickel?
they would take an Indian nickel and they would carve it apparently,
Oh,
and they would use like a nail or something. And I don't know if the material was soft, but with the nickel, it had an Indian head on it, so they'd
oh
carve.
yeah, yeah. They'd punch around it and float the head in
Yeah, they'd
miscellaneous
look like
designs.
a
Yeah,
skull, or and there are people that do them nowadays. Of course, they're probably doing them with Dremels and stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Good tools.
but yeah, there's some crazy stuff.
I recently downloaded from YouTube a guy that has a big passion for the. It's called. Have you know this character Vash the Stampede? It's a Wild Wild West anime in the future, and Trigun is what it's called. Trigun.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Trigun. I haven't seen any of it.
Well, it was kind of neat to get within 15 or 18 minutes. This guy's he really has a passion for it because it hit him at that age where you do see something you really like it. And so he really liked it. So it was good to have him as my tour guide through what was cool about it. And it is kind of, it's something that I've never been tempted to really dip into it. And now, through this guy's eyes, I can see myself actually maybe someday watching it. It sounds like a pretty cool couple of character arcs. Of course, it's got your typical anime thing of where you've got, a relative. It turns out that, is your arch enemy and that sort of thing. That's you can't knock anybody for being cliched. I can't knock anybody for being cliched. But you always make everything new once you explore it yourself.
Right. Well, yeah, a lot of times it's your take on it that.
Yeah, your take. Hey, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll lock it on you.
Okay, I'll talk to myself while you're gone. I don't know. I don't see anybody watching live, so that's okay. But anyway, yeah, I'm working on this sample. If you've missed the first part, um, I'm working kind of. Uh, I I took some classes through the Comics Experience, which is a online school ran by Andy Schmidt, who was an editor at Marvel Comics, and I had an instructor. Andy was a writer, or is a writer, but I had an instructor, a guy named Brian Atkins. I'm sorry, Robert Atkins. Brian's his brother. Anyway, but Robert taught us to work this way, and it was basically you do thumbnails, and then you do like this bigger thing like this, and then from there I blow this up and I'm light boxing it. So the thing is if you work this way, you never work on a blank page, which is really pretty nice, because that's always the thing is no one wants to work on a blank page. That's where all the fear comes in, I guess. I think I hear Ellis. Ellis? I guess I don't hear Ellis. Anyway, so I'm drawing the Spider Gwen sample. This is a sample that I got through the Comics Experience. Somebody at Marvel sent it to Andy, and he put it up for any of the students to use. If you're interested in making comics, you got a couple bucks to spare. Comics Experience is a pretty good place. They have I don't know what it costs a month. I pay by the year. It's a little bit cheaper, but they have a forum, and you can post work on the forum and get critiques and stuff. And that's kind of a big thing is getting critiques. But that's what classes you can take. And I've taken a couple classes. I wanted to take. Robert taught a figure drawing class, and I wanted to take it, but he quit and started teaching at SCAD, which is the Savannah College of Art and Design, before I got a chance to take his class. So I joined the New Masters Academy, which is not live. My class with Robert was live. That is, I watched it on Google Hangouts or whatever. and you could comment and ask questions. He would
Oh,
check your
sorry.
work.
Sorry, I was gone so long. Go ahead, continue on whatever you're saying.
You can kind of check your work, and then but New Masters Academy doesn't have that as an option. You just watch the videos, but there's a lot of them, and your subscription is good for a year. So I've been watching some of those. I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to afford to do both at once. Anyway, that looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm trying to do is make her backpack like unique, so when you see it in each page, it looks like it's carrying on. I'm trying to be somebody complained about my Heaven's Rejects pages. Just looking at the art, not reading the story, of course, that they had trouble following the story. So I want to make sure, if nothing else, I want the storytelling to be on point on this,
Yeah, I tell you, you'll tell a story that, is easy to follow and has a few impact moments.
Yep, that is exactly what I'm trying to do. And I just want it to be like, okay, I mean, maybe they'll like critique the drawing or whatever, but not the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we'll see. I'm a little, I don't know. My plan is to just send it off almost under an assumed name just to see what happens, but I don't know. We'll see. That may backfire.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, it's like that script, like I told you.
Yeah.
You can only do so much with. It's like Hillary's daughter.
Wait, what?
They sent what's her name to the best schools. She's got her talent set, and she's also been raised in a very privileged way. And I forget her name, but she's only going to appeal to people. She can only put it across so well. And if they finally decide, hey, public elected office is obviously not going to be your thing, there won't be anybody that can come along and make her anything beyond a John Kasich in terms of being appealing. He's one of my least favorite guys because he took so long to get out. I'll always resent John Kasich, so I'll always use him as a negative example. But yeah, you don't want to be a John Kasich. You want to realize the reality of guys. Yeah, what's that thing? Man's got to know his limitations. That's a Dirty Harry thing.
It's a Dirty John Wayne. I guess it's Dirty Harry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he says it to Hal Holbrook as his car blows up in Magnum Force.
No, I was going to ask you which Dirty Harry movie.
Yeah, I was gone so long because of the stupid hot plate. I have tried to figure out the programming on it to where it doesn't time out. I want my coffee to caramelize if I forget about it. I don't care. I just don't want the heat to go off on my hot plate. I spend a little time away from the coffee machine, come back, and the hot plate's all timed out. It's like, oh. Sometimes I grab it quick enough and it's still hot enough, but usually it's cooling. Like my coffee hot.
Yep. So what'd you do today?
Well, what did I do today? I worked on those scripts very diligently. I went through all three of them and added rewrites and style unification or format unification on them. And pretty happy with them. And now the art guy in me, because really the way I've scripted, I've already broken out Al how, even though I haven't been like a big real instructor about saying this is a super tight shot or whatever, but I have used a little bit of that language just to know myself that this is an angle this way or that way. And so I've really broken all the visuals down for myself. And anybody else, I'm thinking about zipping this up and putting it on Google Docs. And anybody else that wants to read it can read it. You know, just as a little thing to put out there.
Can you submit it to that thing you put your script on, or you only get to put one on there?
Oh no, I wouldn't want these things on. I would just be sharing this for people that were interested in writing scripts and wondering how somebody else might be doing their script writing. I would just want it casually to go out to like Twitter groups and stuff like that.
So
no, you wouldn't want this sort of thing on Blacklist. This is not the
okay.
scrupulous thing I did that I submitted to Blacklist.
No, I got you.
No, I probably rewrote that thing I did for Blacklist 15 times. I don't know how many times I rewrote it. But I just kept going through it.
Gotcha.
Let's see, 45 minutes, thereabouts.
Wow, has it been that long?
Yeah, that's why my coffee machine went off.
Oh, no.
Let's see, the movie we saw was, well, let's not even talk about it, never mind. If I keep picking duds that nobody likes.
Oh, it was Horror
of Party Beach, which of the extras that, Barry loaned me, those were fascinating. It was kind of cool, yeah, because it was this indie director, Del Tenney, deciding that he'd had it as an actor and he was going to be quitting that, but he decided to give being behind the camera a little bit of a chance. Did a little stint as an assistant director on what they used to call skin flicks, and like say, you'd see more nudity on The Sopranos or
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Anything you could name nowadays on cable. And so he was an AD, and I guess it doesn't take you too long as an assistant director to decide, well, I can do all of it, because the assistant director gets blamed for everything that doesn't work, and so he's going to be kicked for everything until it does work. And so it's probably pretty good training. And he came off of that and said, well, I'm going to make a couple of movies. Oh, and just happenstance, he had somebody come to him from something. He did make a film, put it out there, and by that, like you say, you're sending artwork out yourself, you get a reaction. You send something out in the world and you'll get a reaction.
Yeah.
He got a reaction from a guy that just happened to be the owner of about like 17 drive-in theaters who wanted to get in the movie business. So he put up half the money, and so that movie we're seeing, that shared credit between those two names that happen at the front of Horror of Party Beach, that is a drive-in movie owner and Del Tenney. They're going 50-50, and they did very well with it because it went beyond that. It went to a 20th Century Fox release. On a double bill, and just did really well. As a matter of fact, it beat out, and PT-109 was a pretty big film at the time, and Move Over Darling, which is, I guess, a Doris Day movie, and it beat both of those films out as far as box office goes. It was typically showing on those old double drive-ins you'd have. You pick which bill you'd want to go see. Now that may be the thing. It may have beat out everything in the drive-in as far as the options or the box office, but it may not have done as well. It probably never even was released in the hard tops. You know, that's where I saw when I was a kid, but I was no doubt seeing re-releases going on.
Yeah.
That's most of the movies I saw when I was a kid. They seemed like first runs to me, but I was seeing them two years later
Well,
from
that
their release.
that was a thing then, which is unheard of nowadays. You know, I saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs when I was a kid in the '70s, and I really had no clue how old it actually. I knew it was had been out, but I didn't know. You know, I have a clue how old it was or whatever.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah, you're a kid. You don't know animation history. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, and I wasn't. You know, I did a podcast recently where I was talking about Disney, and you know, I grew up in a period when Disney was really, at least the animation was really horrible or not doing well. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, they experimented with some stuff that was kind of being influenced by UPA, which is real minimal. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
what you're talking about? Is that the stuff,
yeah.
or are you talking more like?
Well, I'm talking about like Black Cauldron and that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Black Cauldron, yeah. That was where they started to experiment and tried to get away with being stylized and a little more limited here and there, but at the same time, that stuff is still beautiful. It still holds up in its own way.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's not. It just wasn't prominent at the box office or whatever.
I mean, when you
It
think
was,
about it, 101 Dalmatians is that sort of
yeah,
departure, and I love the look of the character designs and all that. 101 Dalmatians.
yeah. I agree with that, but so I didn't grow up with that Disney thing like a lot of kid or younger or older kids. You know, I was kind of you know, whereas like all my nephews and that sort of thing, they grew up during the you know uh, uh, the what you
You know,
call it.
the princess era.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to. I can't think of one of the movies.
Yeah,
Any of
all the princesses that came along and sang to the kids. Yeah.
yeah. But I did see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs when I was a kid because my grandmother had seen it when she was a kid, and
Which I guess is a princess singing movie.
yeah,
And
I
it's a
kind of
long history. Yeah.
it is. That's the formula they went back to, kind of,
Yeah.
I guess. But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this.
Well, as far as being random and talking about things, I guess we've done enough of it.
Uh,
I think we've been at it about an hour, close.
oh yeah, it's close to an hour.
Do you want to have any sort of finishing notes? I'll put our usual links in it. And
Links on there, that'd be good.
okay,
You know, I'll just say, you know, I'm working on right now. I'm drawing this sample, but I'm only working on this because my writer has not written issue 3 of a comic I'm working on called Heaven's Rejects about angels that get kicked out of heaven. I have to finish issue 3 or finish half of issue 3 before the publisher will put it out. But if you enjoyed watching me draw, you can check out my webpage at scottsackett.org, or I'm Scott Sackett on Instagram, and I post a lot of stuff on Instagram. And you know, if you like my work, you know, follow me, drop me a line, whatever. Anyway, that's about it, I guess, Ellis.
cool. And as
Be on-
far as I will be posting some links for anybody that wants to see some other stuff we do. I'm going to look at the drawn and quartered, and I imagine they're doing it tonight, but I may say I'm just going to say I'm in the green room, and if they really need me, I'll show up.
What's the topic?
I don't even know. I'll have to look.
You'll never win with that attitude.
I
Ellis.
know it. I'll be in a hunt up research
Yeah.
mode, and heck, that's in another hour. You know, I'd have to be ready to go.
Roughs right now.
I guess I'll leave everything hooked up in case I feel like it.
Yeah, you should do that.
Okay, well, talk to you later, Scott.
Okay, I'll see you, Ellis. Hey,
Oh.
next Wednesday we for sure got to do it. and because it's the preview night of San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, okay. We can talk about our own reminiscences of San
San
Diego
Diego.
Comic Cons. Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Okay. Talk to you later.
I'll see you.
Bye bye.